A recent article on Guy Stuff counseling site questioned if you really need romance in order to make a marriage work. And while some people said that once the romance is gone, you've basically become roommates, others said it doesn't necessarily mean it's over. They said if both people are willing to put in the work, it could ultimately bring you back together. So ladies, what do you think? Once the romance dies, is the relationship dead too?
No, I don't think the relationship dies, but it does mean that now you have a different relationship. And the question that you should ask is, once the romance dies, is it the relationship you want? So whether or not relationships are important to have romance in them is the real question that you should be answering. Because you can have a ton of different relationships. You can have a brother and sister-like relationship. You can have a roommates-like relationship mentioned here. You can have a friends type of relationship. But the romance definitely makes it the only type of relationship it is that's not like your mom and your dad, and you and your neighbor, and you and your besties. You know what I mean? The romance is what gives it that.
The romance is gone. Can you try to bring it back? I mean, find what the person loved. What did you love about the person when you first met them so that you can sort of bring it back?
I think you absolutely can bring the romance back, but similar to like you're saying, Jeannie, I really used to think that way. I used to think that, well, then if there isn't any romance involved, then it's just like every other relationship you have. Except for the fact of, I've really been talking to a lot of parents and just the transition of motherhood and parenting and what that season looks like for most people is very different, but it is still wildly intimate. So while it may not be romantic to have to wake up in the middle of the night and you're exhausted together and you're caring for this child, it may not be the most romantic season of your marriage, but it's still significant and special. So I think it's important that we not just look for Teddy Pendergrass music playing and rose bubble baths and flowers, but that you recognize that there's a difference between romance and intimacy. When the intimacy completely leaves your relationship, I think that's when you should be concerned. And more than anything, when the friendship ends. When you are no longer friends, that to me is the end of your relationship.
Have you stayed in a relationship just for the sex? Because that's still good?
When you initially start a relationship, I think romance is important. When you first start, you know, but the thing is that, but you'll be surprised at how many people initially don't even have romance. If you notice that the man is not being romantic to you, you know, then that to me is a sign that maybe, and you know, sometimes they say, oh, well, he doesn't want to be intimate or he doesn't want to get that close. That's a sign, I feel, of, you know, whether he's serious about the relationship or not, if he's not being romantic. So I think at the very beginning to make sure that you understand what it is that you need, what it is that he needs, and what is it to be romantic at the beginning. And as the goes on, go ahead, Garcelle. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say also, don't confuse romance with lust. You know, I think when a relationship is new, the energy is going and everybody's excited, but that's not necessarily the long-lasting romance that you need to make it work.
Romance for me is simple stuff. I think every woman, you should really ask yourself, what is it that turns you on from your partner, that you find that's cute? You know, like when I wake up in the morning, James will grab my toes. It's something about him grabbing my toes. I just, grab my toes, baby. Grab. Yes.
But that's your thing, and I love that. And somebody else may be like, that's not romantic.
Don't grab my toes.
Guys, I just worry.
What you want, Garcelle? What makes you really grab the
what
back
kind
of your
romance?
back? The little small back?
She don't want her toes grabbed.
You know, I just want a nice hug and a really good hug.
Well, see, a hug
give me a hug.
for me. Look, look at you. Been so long, ain't it? It's been so. For long, huh?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Hey.
Oh my God. I'm gonna call HR on her.
You know what? Let's move on, ladies. Up next, I recently saw this cheating claim that was made on The Shade Room, and it sparked a huge debate. It was from a woman named Tony who said, in my opinion, women have many more opportunities to cheat than men, simply because, on average, we're approached more. If you're a man in a relationship and you think you have to work hard to fight off temptation, your woman is probably working 10 times harder. Ladies, here's your opportunity to keep it real. What are your thoughts on Tony's claims?
Men ain't
Okay,
that
so
bold.
the original question is, do women have more opportunity to cheat,
Yeah.
or is it do women cheat
Yeah.
more than men?
No, the opportunity
opportunity.
more. Because they're saying men kick it to women more than women kick it to men. I don't think this is true. I actually,
Yep.
listen, let's cut all the who asks who more, who does what more. Let me tell you something. If you don't want to cheat on your significant other, Idris Elba could show up butt naked in front of you, begging you for some good. And if you do not want to cheat on your man, you are going to be like, Lord Jesus, please put your clothes on. I'm moving over here. Like, you will find a way to not do it because you don't want to do it. Versus,
Woo, I know
you
you
could
said-
so badly. Because I knew Lonnie would relate, but
That's
You-
Garcelle. That's Garcelle over there.
That's Garcelle,
Look,
too.
you said Idris Elba.
you want to.
She hesitated.
But if you want to cheat, it could be absolutely nobody nowhere asking you nothing, and you humping a wall. And those are the facts. The facts are, if you want to cheat, you're going to cheat. If you don't want to cheat, you're not going to cheat. It has nothing to do with how many times somebody asks you, or if you're approached, or if you're not approached. If that is something missing in your relationship and you are looking outside, oh, you going to find it. Your eyeballs is peeled, you going to find it. That's how it works. If
You on a roll today.
Don't you feel?
It's a Bible
Don't you
verse.
fe-
Ye that looketh will findeth. That is not a Bible verse.
That is not. I was like,
I
what
never heard
Bible
the
is
eyes
this?
peeled part. But
That's the
don't you
Adrian
feel like men
version?
who are taken are much more attractive to certain women? Like, I feel like now that we have the DMs, I feel like guys who are taken are definitely much more attractive to certain women. So therefore, I feel
Yeah,
like
women
men
with a
have more
competitive
opportunity
spirit.
to cheat.
Yeah,
Right.
because
Even
they
with a
want what you
competitive
got.
spirit. If you, yeah,
Well,
that's
they
just,
lonely.
And I'm,
They miserable bitches, and they lonely, and they trying to go into your, you know what I mean? You can't
And
even
ruin.
You know, and then this the thing: if you don't post, say if you don't post your relationship, there's something wrong. They ain't together. They ain't been on the gram. And then when you
Right.
post, here they come. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
right.
just like
That's
it's
right.
like it's a never-ending thing. And my thing is, you know. Most of the time when people post, they want to post to celebrate. They want to post, and I feel like if you're single, look at that and go, this is the difference they say between a man and a woman. A man will see his buddy with a good woman and say, that's the type of woman I want to get. A woman will see another woman with a good man and say, that's the man I'm gonna try to get. That man.
Right.
And we have to get out of that type of thinking to realize that
Yes,
there
we
are
do.
good men out there, and that they're out there. You just have to keep working and keep searching, and you will find yours. But a lot of times, the reason why you're not finding a
Sadly-
man is because something is in you that ain't.
That's
that is
right.
not. You gotta work it out. God,
That's
I've been
it.
telling that to all
That's
my
it.
girlfriends. I'm like,
Lonnie,
God wants you to
Lonnie.
be single for a reason. Get to know yourself. Understand what you
Amen.
like in a man.
Yep. You know, most of the time, women that are specifically looking for men that are taken, they actually say that it's a psychological issue. Like, they're not being funny. Like, they say it's psychological and emotional because it's usually that the person is unavailable to them. And it becomes competitive. Now it's, I want that
Yes.
girl because they're with somebody else. And they're actually competing with the woman just to see, am I as good as her? Can I
Right.
beat her? Can I get her man from her? Right? And then guess what happens? That relationship goes nowhere because once you accomplish that goal, now what? Now you're looking for the next
Right.
chase, the next
let
thing,
me
the
be
next
clear.
competition.
Well,
You'll
let's
never
also say it's
emotionally,
not
mentally,
every woman
sexually
across the
be
board.
satisfied.
Right. I want to be
Yeah.
clear about
I mean,
that.
yeah,
That's not
it's never.
every woman,
Not all
and
women.
and men that are taken, it's his responsibility to say no.
Yes.
It's his responsibility to
Yeah.
say, I don't play that. So I don't put it on the
That's right.
woman. I put it on
That's right.
my man. If you know that somebody DMing you or whatever, I'm just saying hypothetically, you know you handle that. I ain't mad at that woman.
Yeah.
That's my sister. She
don't have a
lonely.
commitment
She
to
going
me.
through
You
something.
do.
Whatever. It's on your
Right,
responsibility.
but he's got a commitment to you.
Exactly.
That's
and
right.
you better fulfill that or I'm out.